Hey, it is Kay with Kay's Create with Kay. There we go. And I'm back with another video for you guys. This is going to be a one-layered ink blend, beautiful summer night sunset ink blending video, and I love the way that this came out. It is a pretty quick video. It was a pretty quick card, and I think that this could be used for a lot of stamps that you have in your set that are not meant for like coloring in, that are more silhouette looking. So look through your stash. I'm sure we all have them out there, and we probably haven't used them as we don't know what to kind of do with them a lot. This one is using our Floral, oh gosh, I just looked it up, Floral Memories, I think. Well, we'll see it here in a minute. But I am using several, I think four different colors of our Color Fuse inks. And I did leave in all of this ink blending for you. I did speed it up, obviously. But just to show you, like, it takes a minute sometimes for inks to get blended out on paper. Sometimes you have to get a good amount of ink down in order to get them to smoothly blend. And I don't want you to give up or get discouraged on your ink blending, and just keep on going. Also, sometimes takes you going over it 1 or 2 times. And I think that I get a lot of questions on ink blending. And I think that this is where people think that they can just like quickly put down a little bit of ink and it will all come together. As you can see here, I do have lots of banding, lots of brush strokes, and I am just putting down ink. So we're going to be putting down a lot of ink. I used Crimson, Autumn, and, ooh, hold on one second. Oh, of course they're in with my picture. Oh, an apricot. So Crimson, Autumn, and apricot for my colors. And then I did use a little bit of cinnamon, I believe, at the end to darken up my red a little bit. That's a good way to darken up a red. But as you can see, I just keep on going back and forth. I really wasn't happy with the way that the orange was coming out, and how it kind of like got that good line there. But also we do have to remember that we're going to be stamping over this. So it also is not going to be forefront. So it is you're not going to see that as much. But just keep on going. So I will go yellow, orange to red, red, orange to yellow. And kind of just like, sometimes I even let that just seep into the paper a little bit. And then came back in with more of the ink. So this part probably took me the longest of the video. The other parts was super easy. All right, here I am reaching for the brown. I just wanted a little bit darker of a red, and unfortunately this line just doesn't have it, and that's okay. Use your other inks that will help your other colors develop. So putting in a good brown into a red really helps the depth of the red and get it to that dark, deep red that you're looking for, pretty much. All right, so here I am. I think at this point I'm putting on my last little bit, scrubbing that in there, and you're going to see like it's finally starting to mold all together and get that look that I've wanted. Definitely go in with the lighter color up to the top. You know, you gotta go between all of those colors also. Oh, there it was, and I totally missed it. I think it's Floral Memories. Again, everything will be linked in the description below, of course. I love the set, but I haven't been able to figure out a use for it quite yet. A lot of the scene cards that I make, I don't have flowers that are this large. So I've been looking for a good way to use this, and I finally was like, oh, with the theme being summer this month, let's do a great, like, focused in card that looks like the sunset is behind all of these, and we're looking through such a great silhouette of like a field of flowers. And this was perfect, especially because all the dandelions are coming up in my yard right now. I'm like, where did all of these darn dandelions come from? We didn't have these last year. All right, so here I am. I did go through also off screen and hit this with a heat gun to let that ink dry a little bit before I put down this black ink, and that way it doesn't allow it to get that chalky faded look. I'm also using VersaFine black onyx black ink, and this is a pigment ink, so it is going to sit on top of that other ink and not a dye ink that's going to blend in with the other dye ink that we just used. So I did switch the types of ink in between this, and that does help keep that black so black. Plus, VersaFine is just the best black ink, I feel like, out there. Ooh, look at that. So I'm just lining these up. I really did just go through and try and get a simple look out of this. I didn't really want too much of a flower on there, but I also needed to take up a little bit of space. So I used that flower right on the edge. And here you can see I'm kind of just stacking and figuring out the best way. My darn little grip mat wants to move because I've been using this guy a lot and he needs to be cleaned and, you know, get that sticky back, but that's okay. Also, these are new stamps, so they are just that, you know, that extra sticky stamp. All right, oh, I'm loving how this is turning out. It's so pretty, guys. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention at the very beginning. You see that masking tape. I used some Gina K masking tape at the very bottom. I cut it 1.5 inches to give me that border. I wanted the bottom to be completely clean for my sentiment. So I did put that there, and it gave me a good base, horizon line, if you want to call it. And I kept that on there the entire time so that I could just keep on stamping away. But yeah, use Post-it note tape, use, you know, even a piece of copy paper, just make sure that it stays in the exact same spot. Forgot to take off my one little stamp over there before I put it back down, but that's okay because the Misty is amazing and allows us to do this. I don't know how card makers did it before the Misty. How they did it, right? All right, so to give myself another look, I took that one, I don't know, a puffy flower stamp and set it way off to the side. We only had so many, and I just didn't want it to look all the same. So that's what I did for that one. We've already used this stamp, but you've seen it that we're using it right next to each other, and it's really not going to look like the same stamp because the one I turned it pretty hard to its side, and then the other one I'm kind of contorting it to the other side. So turn and, you know, configure your stamps in all different ways to get them to look right. I'm doing 2 passes of the ink on each one just to make sure that we're keeping that good solid black. I also did not ink up the extra flower on this one, as you can see right there. And look at that magic reveal. So pretty, guys. I am obsessed. And unfortunately, I think I hit the off button when I was supposed to be recording it just for that sentiment. Some days are just better when I'm with you, and this is the perfect summer card. Let me know if you guys like to see more of these videos using the stamps that we don't really know what to use for, and I will see you in the next one. Talk to you soon. Bye.